Hi everyone. I have seen that I have a lot of new followers and likes and people engaging with my page that I've never met before. So while I know a lot of you are my family and my friends and maybe friends of friends and we've met and talked to each other or know each other somehow, some of you don't know me. So I wanted to take a little bit of an opportunity to let you guys get to know a little bit about me, my family, how I ended up here, kind of my history, if you will. So I'll get started on that. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son and a 3-year-old chihuahua. And both of the kids are involved in sports and they keep us busy, as you can imagine. But they're kind of what our world revolves around at this point in our lives. So we're at fun ages and doing all of their activities and just keeping up with them most of the time. And then I have my husband, his name is Kevin. He owns a roofing company called 1907 Roofing, and he's been in the roofing industry for a number of years now. So if you need a roofer, I know a guy. He's very, very good at working with people and knows so much about the industry, way more than I do. But he is kind of the backbone of my dreams. I'm the dreamer, and he is the one that makes things happen for me. So a little bit about me. I grew up in Bethany. I went to Bethany for all 12 years of school. My family still lives there, so I'm very closely tied to Bethany. It has a special place in my heart for a number of reasons. The introduction to me working in real estate is I used to work in property management. I was actually the property administrator for a few years of First National Bank in Oklahoma City. It's a completely different building now, but I did work there before it was turned into this kind of hospitality center, but I didn't do the leasing. I worked in more of the billing and doing the office work, the admin work, and that was my first step kind of into real estate and getting to learn about these things and my first job as something in real estate. So after that, I ended up going to nursing school, and I was a nurse I still am a nurse. I'm just not practicing. I am licensed, but I worked at the Children's Center for almost 4 years in Bethany, which is another reason why it's so special to me. I cannot talk highly enough about the Children's Center. They are just doing wonderful things there. If you haven't heard of them, look it up. It is the best place, and it's such a great place to work. So I developed a passion for just caring for people, and I've always been that type of person, but going into nursing taught me a lot about being patient with people and dealing with people with heightened emotions, and it was a lot of work, and it was so emotional and stressful at times, but the most rewarding job. So I've always had just a desire to help people. And when COVID happened, I had just had my daughter, and I was working PRN, kind of coming back from maternity leave, and we decided ultimately that it would be better for me to stay home because we weren't sure what was happening with COVID. We didn't know at that point how it affected people or what it was going to do to us, and being around a lot of sick kids in an enclosed space as a nurse was a little scary at that time. So I took that time to take off and become a stay-at-home mom. So for the past few years, I had the benefit of being at home with my kids, going to their activities, being involved in their school, and just getting to enjoy that time with them. And I have loved every second of that. But now that my daughter is a little bit older, I was starting to get ready for a different challenge, but I knew that I still wanted to help people. I just wasn't sure that I really wanted to go back into nursing. As much as I loved it and enjoyed it and learned so much, I wasn't ready to go back to something where I was working 12-hour shifts and stuck in a building. So I was trying to figure out what I could possibly do where I could still help people, but I could be more free with my schedule and be available to be with my kids and kind of choose when I work and work outside of hours that are normal for everyday people, 8 to 5 schedules. So initially, when we first decided to buy a house, this is kind of me going off, but it's relevant. So we decided we wanted to buy our first home, and we looked and looked and looked, and finally found something we loved. It ended up already being accounted for. Somebody else made a verbal agreement to give that person the property. So we ended up running into the builder of that property and decided that while we were buying our first home, we were going to build. So going through that, we decided to build a house. Didn't know anything about it, never bought a home before, and decided, okay, let's just do this so we can get exactly what we want. So we went through that process as first-time home buyers, and our agent came off of Zillow. Now, I knew that I had known some real estate agents, but she had worked hard to help us, and I didn't want to take that opportunity away from her because she showed us so many properties, and she ended up living far away. So I ended up doing a lot of her job because she was so far away, and we dealt with the builder and his wife designing our house. So I ended up doing a lot of what a realtor would have done for my own house. But at the time, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. So once we got through that process and finished, I thought, man, I could be a realtor. If this is what they do, I could totally do this. And I actually enjoyed it. So I would get in the habit of getting on Zillow and doing what most people do on their own without a realtor, getting on Zillow, getting on realtor.com, looking at properties, researching properties, sending properties to my friends that I thought that they would like, and sending stuff to my husband endlessly. And he said one day, why don't you just become a realtor? And I thought, oh my gosh, I am not a salesperson. I do not think that this is something that I could do. I'm not a sales girl at all. So after thinking about it for a really long time and talking to some brokers and doing research and looking into classes, I finally decided that I would bite and I would just do it. So I took the class. I started taking the class, and one of my good friend's aunts reached out to me and said, hey, I have some time to mentor you, and I think you would be good at this, so let's talk. And at that point, I was wholeheartedly in, and I finished my class, got my license, and she took me under her wing. And that is how I ended up here. It wasn't a dream of mine. I was terrified because I thought that you had to be this go-getter salesperson that reeled everybody in and did all these things. And that's not naturally who I am. I'm a very patient person. I'm caring, and I want to help people. That's my biggest thing. I don't want to push people to do things that they don't want to do. I don't like to bother people. That's a really big thing. I'm very uncomfortable doing that. So I didn't think that I would be successful in the real estate world. But as I'm learning, a lot of people connect with you when you do have that caring heart, and you are there because you care about them. You want to be there for that milestone in their life. And that's the most rewarding part of this for me. So that is kind of a little bit about me. That's how I ended up as a realtor and in this position. I still get to enjoy seeing my kids every day and spending time with them and going to their activities, but I get to spend weekends and evenings with clients looking at properties and seeing them get excited about things, and that is just so rewarding. That's my biggest focus, is my clients and my business. It's not about me. It's not just a buy or sell deal. This is a huge purchase. This is deeply personal. This is your home that you're going to raise your kids and your family in. And I think a lot of realtors have kind of gone away from that because they want to make a buck. But for me, it wasn't about that. It was about the fact that you're helping someone find the place where they're going to raise a family and live their life. And those things are so important to me. And I just really wanted to reiterate that to you guys. I'm not a salesperson. I've never worked a sales job in my life, but I care about people and I care about what you guys want. And my biggest goal is to see you reach that milestone of buying a home and getting to personalize it however you want, or building a home. My 3-year-old is rocking the camera, but that is my focus in my business. So if you feel like I'm a good fit for that, let's chat. Please don't be intimidated by calling me. I promise I'm not going to bother you. I'm not going to blow you up. But if you want my help, I will be there to help you. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. don't be worried about that. I know a lot of people are, so don't ever worry about that with me. I am not here to try to sell you on something or push you on something that you don't want. That's not who I am, but I am here to help. So please take advantage of that. If you have any questions or any concerns or just want to meet up for coffee and kind of test the waters, give me a call, text me, shoot me a message on Facebook, and I'll be happy to do that for you. And I look forward to hearing from all of you.